What if everything you believed about one of TV's most rugged, off-the-grid families was a carefully crafted illusion? Behind the camera, beyond the wild beards and wilderness survival, lies a world of secret deals, luxury estates, and a betrayal that could tear a family and a multi-million-dollar empire apart. One of their own has broken the silence, but is he exposing the truth or rewriting it? The line between reality and fiction is about to vanish, and what's revealed next will leave you questioning everything. When the show launched in 2014, the Discovery Channel packaged it as a raw and inspiring portrayal of a self-reliant family defying modernity. The Browns, led by Billy Brown, were framed as frontier survivors navigating the harsh Alaskan wilderness. But Noah's statements turned that narrative upside down. Viewers were sold a dream of independence and family unity. Yet now, cracks in that dream are growing wider with every word he shares. One of the show's strongest appeals was the promise of simplicity. Freedom from technology, from society's pace, from modern distractions. It fed into a deep yearning that many carry. The idea of returning to nature and finding meaning in the basics. But what if that promise was hollow? That's the hook. What if the reality was never real to begin with? And yet, people still clung to the show because it offered emotional comfort. A family battling together against impossible odds. Over time, small inconsistencies snowballed into larger suspicions. The Browns were meant to be isolated, but scenes were filmed near towns, and they often appeared cleaner and more equipped than their rugged setting would allow. Items appeared that couldn't logically have been obtained off-grid. The truth began to slip through the cracks. This wasn't survival. It was performance. Despite these doubts, the show's grip only tightened. The storytelling was just too effective. With cliffhangers, stirring music, and well-timed emotional arcs, viewers were drawn back week after week. Discovery Channel knew how to hook an audience. They'd done it with Deadliest Catch, Gold Rush, and Naked and Afraid. And with Alaskan Bush People, they crafted a brand around the Browns, framed as the ultimate pioneers. But things got even messier as Noah peeled back the layers. According to him, the portrayal of the Browns as poor and scraping by was flat-out deceptive. Behind the scenes, they were collecting large paychecks, possibly up to $60,000 per episode at the height of the show. The illusion of poverty stirred outrage, especially among loyal fans who had once donated money, believing the family was in desperate need. One fan commented online, "I sent them food money. Now I feel duped." The biggest gut punch came with Noah's emotional breakdown during a conversation with a fan. He snapped, "I can't keep the secret anymore," he said. And with that, he opened the floodgates. From financial mismanagement to emotional manipulation, Noah painted a picture of a family torn apart by fame. He suggested that Billy Brown held a tight grip on the show's revenue, dictating how funds were used and who had access to them. Noah's confession created one of the most dramatic reversals fans had ever seen. From heroes of the wilderness to stars caught in a financial and emotional trap. It wasn't just about money. Noah spoke of family members overwhelmed by the pressures of fame, contracts, and public scrutiny. Some wanted to walk away but couldn't, tied down by legal commitments. Others, he claimed, resented the camera's constant presence, and what began as a shared dream became an emotional cage. Looking back, one fan said in a YouTube breakdown video, "You can see the tension in their faces. The smiles never reached their eyes." Digging into the Browns' financial world reveals a different kind of wilderness. Luxury vehicles, expansive land purchases, and whispers of private jets used for travel. Far from the image of rugged, backwoods survivors. They reportedly owned multiple properties across Alaska and the Pacific Northwest, some registered under corporate holdings tied to Discovery. Billy Brown, prior to his passing, allegedly held diversified assets including real estate, production royalties, and high-value outdoor gear endorsements. Among their known possessions were off-road luxury trucks valued at over $70,000 each, top-tier satellite phones, and even high-end timepieces spotted during rare public appearances. These weren't Bush tools, they were status symbols. And while none of this is inherently wrong, it's the contrast with the show's premise that created such a stir. Their insurance portfolio, too, raised eyebrows. Sources suggest they carried high-value personal and business insurance, protecting both onset liabilities and personal assets. Some policies were reportedly structured to cover revenue loss due to injuries, delays in production, and even reputation management services. For a family that supposedly lived paycheck to paycheck, their preparation told a very different story. But this isn't just about deception. There's a deeper takeaway. The Browns, especially Billy, treated the brand as a business, one that monetized a lifestyle fantasy. And like any business, it had risks, returns, and stakeholders. Noah's open frustration reveals a key lesson: protect your autonomy, even in the face of fame. Fans who once idolized the Browns now find themselves conflicted. Can you blame a family for playing the game the industry demands? Or were they too willing to become characters instead of being their authentic selves? The show may have started with truth, but somewhere along the way it became theater. Still, the emotional core remains. Noah Brown, vulnerable and visibly burdened, reminded us that even those who seem to have it all can feel trapped. His words may have shattered an illusion, but they also offered a rare glimpse into the price of performance. When Noah Brown shattered the illusion of Alaskan Bush People by lifting the curtain on its behind-the-scenes fabrications, fans didn't just gasp, they questioned everything. Suddenly, what once felt like a raw, emotional journey through wilderness survival became something darker, more calculated. The illusion of a family fighting nature together was pierced by the harsh reality of contracts, staged scenes, and family fractures. But the real storm? It wasn't on screen. It was the seismic tension brewing within the Brown household itself. As the public reeled from Noah's revelations, the family dynamic started to unravel in real time. Noah didn't just challenge the legacy of the show. He cracked the foundation of trust within the family. Fans began to ask, was he peeling back layers of deception, or simply fueling chaos for personal gain? Noah's willingness to expose internal rifts has been interpreted by some as brave and cathartic, but others accuse him of betrayal cloaked in truth-telling. Finally, someone saying what we've always felt, one post read, while others slammed him for waiting until the cameras stopped rolling to speak up. But perhaps the most unsettling part? The family's silence. Rain's cryptic caption, "Silence is sometimes the loudest response," stirred an avalanche of speculation. Bear's pointed words about loyalty didn't name Noah, but they didn't have to. Fans connected the dots, and the message was clear. There's a growing divide in the once unbreakable clan. It's not just a disagreement, it's a rupture. And if Noah is the spark, then what he's ignited may burn through generations of carefully constructed legacy. Was this the unraveling of a family, or the rebirth of an individual finally stepping into his own story? What's undeniable is how the drama peeled back another layer of fiction, especially when it came to money. For years, audiences were captivated by the image of a resourceful family scraping by in Alaska's unforgiving wilds. But according to Noah, that storyline was more fairy tale than fact. Beneath the surface, the Browns weren't scavenging for survival. They were building quiet fortunes. Billy Brown, the late patriarch, reportedly amassed a net worth in the millions, casting serious doubt on the show's claims of poverty. Fans were stunned. They lived like pioneers, but spent like millionaires, one Redditor exclaimed. The illusion was shattered further by inconsistencies that now seem glaring in hindsight. High-end tools, frequent supply deliveries, and off-camera lodgings far from the makeshift cabins portrayed on screen. Noah's statements suggested a tightly controlled financial structure, with Billy allegedly managing the family's funds and controlling how the earnings were divided. That power imbalance may have bred resentment, especially among the siblings who felt shortchanged despite playing roles in a multi-million-dollar franchise. And if Noah's version of events is accurate, the show wasn't just misleading viewers, it was quietly fracturing the very people it claimed to unite. Noah's public revelations have reignited comparisons between the Browns and other reality TV families who walked the tightrope between authenticity and image. Much like the Duggars, who promoted simplicity while living in sprawling homes, the Browns appear to have curated a narrative far removed from their actual wealth. But the Browns went a step further. They sold survival as their brand, turning hardship into a marketable fantasy. Fans who once admired their resilience now wonder, how much of the hardship was real, and how much was strategy? Behind this unraveling myth lies a financial empire that is more layered than fans could have guessed. Billy Brown's net worth peaked around $6 million, fueled by the show's success and rumored land investments. After his passing, legal disputes reportedly emerged regarding how the estate would be split. Some sources suggest that Noah, who has distanced himself from the show, may not have had equal access to that inheritance. The family's real estate holdings are equally eyebrow-raising. Properties in Washington state valued in the high six figures, some spanning acres of wilderness once used as filming locations. These aren't simple cabins. We're talking multi-bedroom estates with modern amenities and views straight out of a luxury catalog. The Browns have also dipped into lifestyle choices that further contradict their on-screen image. Among their rumored assets, a fleet of luxury vehicles including a blacked-out Range Rover, a custom Jeep Wrangler, and a Ford Raptor, each easily worth over $70,000. High-end watches have also made brief appearances in social media posts. Think Rolex Submariner and Omega Seamaster, not the rugged survivalist gear fans expected. Add whispers of private jet rentals for appearances and trips to the lower 48, and you start to see a very different version of the Brown family. One far more glamorous and affluent than ever shown on screen. But perhaps the most damning revelations are the legal troubles buried deep in the family's past. Issues Noah is no longer willing to ignore. Years ago, Billy and Bam were accused of fraud for allegedly misrepresenting their Alaskan residency to qualify for state funds. The scandal was downplayed at the time, but Noah's recent comments hint that this was just the tip of the iceberg. What else was covered up? What other skeletons have yet to be unearthed? Legal rumors now swirl once again. Talk of unpaid taxes, unsettled debts, and even behind-the-scenes disputes with the production crew. Some crew members have allegedly considered legal action over unsafe conditions or misleading contracts. Noah's decision to allude to these issues has left fans split. Is he courageously confronting years of secrecy? Or is he attempting to capitalize on controversy in a bid for independence and perhaps a new show? Whatever his motives, one thing is certain. Noah has obliterated the sanitized version of the Brown family that once captured hearts. He's forced the public to confront uncomfortable truths. That survival was staged, that money played a central role, and that the bonds we thought were forged in fire may have been held together by TV contracts and profit-sharing agreements. The storm stirred by Noah Brown's cryptic revelations hasn't just shaken the image of the Brown family. It's reshaping how fans view the very foundation of Alaskan Bush People. Once celebrated as a raw, unfiltered glimpse into off-grid survival, the show now feels more like a carefully choreographed narrative, and Noah's decision to break his silence is acting as the ultimate reset button. He hasn't dropped a full-blown exposé yet, but every hint he shares online seems to be peeling back another layer of a facade millions once believed. Fans are split. Is he the courageous truth-teller the public needed? Or is he capitalizing on family dysfunction for attention and profit? This duality is feeding the fire and the curiosity. Behind the camera and away from the wilderness aesthetic, the Brown family's financial web tells a whole different story. At their peak, thanks to the show's success and the merchandise it spawned, estimates pegged the family's collective net worth at around $60 million. Billy Brown himself was reportedly worth over $6 million before his passing, while Noah and his siblings pocketed between $40,000 to $60,000 per episode. And yet, with that kind of wealth, why were they still selling the rugged survivalist image so hard? That's the question Noah's recent disclosures are prompting fans to ask. Now living off the grid seems more like a brand than a lifestyle. Real estate records reveal the family owns several properties in Washington state, including a sprawling 400-acre estate purchased for roughly $1.6 million. They also maintain a property in Alaska, reportedly valued at over $300,000. The so-called Brown Town was clearly more of a set than a home. Some insiders even speculate there were insurance policies tied to filming locations and assets, policies often used to protect the cast and crew during production. These policies weren't just for liability. They were part of the show's infrastructure, designed to make the illusion bulletproof. Noah himself hasn't been idle. He has dabbled in small-scale tech inventions and alternative energy prototypes. None commercially successful, but enough to show he was eager to break the mold. Financial experts speculate he may pivot into writing or producing a documentary, which could easily bring in a mid-six-figure advance if distributed through streaming platforms. His current net worth is estimated to hover around $500,000, but that figure could skyrocket if he monetizes his version of the story. Think book deals, exclusive interviews, even a docu-series if a network dares to back it. The family's taste for luxury also slipped through the cracks long before Noah's confession. Multiple sightings placed them in high-end SUVs like the Cadillac Escalade and Range Rovers. Some fans even claim to have seen the siblings wearing Rolexes and Tag Heuer watches, far from wilderness chic. Their Washington compound is outfitted with modern amenities, indoor gyms, and security systems. It's a far cry from the lean-tos and wood-stove kitchens they portrayed on screen. Add to that speculation about a shared private jet used during off-season filming, and suddenly, the off-grid narrative, the Browns might turn this rift into a ratings goldmine. Still, fans can't ignore the growing fissures. A once loyal audience now questions if they were sold a fantasy. The memes keep flooding social media. One popular post shows Noah standing beside a Hollywood studio lot with the caption, "Turns out the real Bush was just behind the camera." Another shows satellite imagery of the Brown property, with luxury vehicles parked neatly in a driveway, next to a fake wooden cabin. The betrayal stings not just because the illusion broke, but because many fans modeled parts of their own lifestyles after what they saw on screen. And the Brown family isn't speaking up. Aside from the occasional vague Instagram post about family loyalty or staying strong through storms, the rest of the clan has remained eerily silent. One fan pointed out that in the past month, 3 major family members have deactivated or made private their social media accounts. Whether it's to avoid backlash or regroup behind the scenes, the silence only fuels the speculation. Are they preparing a counter-narrative? Are they planning legal action against Noah for defamation? Or are they scrambling to recover what's left of their brand? Among all this chaos, there's a deeper lesson about fame, truth, and control. Noah's bombshell didn't just pull back the curtain on his family, it challenged the very format of reality TV. Can fans ever fully trust what they see on screen again? Can networks continue to walk the line between storytelling and manipulation without consequences? These questions have forced an industry reckoning, and the Brown saga is now at the center of it. But what about the future? Noah's next steps could shape the legacy of Alaskan Bush People forever. If he releases a tell-all book, industry experts predict it could debut on the New York Times bestseller list. And as for financial wisdom, Noah's story offers a few striking lessons. First, diversifying income streams matters. The show may have made them famous, but investments in land, assets, and possibly even cryptocurrency insulated them from total collapse. Second, managing image is just as important as managing money. Fame built on fantasy is fragile. Finally, transparency sells. In the age of online confessionals and documentary exposés, authenticity, or at least the appearance of it, has real market value. So what a wild ride, from untold secrets to luxury reveals, and one family's crumbling TV legacy. If you're as hooked as we are, hit like, drop your thoughts below, and subscribe for more Hollywood truths. Because in the world of reality TV, sometimes the fakest parts feel the most real. As the cameras stop rolling and the truth rushes in, we're left wondering not just what was fake, but what's coming next. Stay tuned. This storm is far from over.